You're pretty jacked, Caza. Can you hear me? You're the problem. That's what it is. You and your new sexy studio ain't so sexy anymore when you're freaking mute. Give me some of that sign language. Let's see you spell out your innermost thoughts with your biceps. You looking jiggity jack, dude. What does the shirt say? Kurdogia? I don't know how to pronounce that. Kurdogonia? But what does it mean? Can't hear you. Your fancy studio and nobody can hear you. What's
Yeah,
the
what
point of a
about now?
podcast if you're absolute mute on it?
You good? Hear me now?
Yeah,
All right.
unfortunately. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Wow, look at your little chubby fingers.
What, these ones?
I love a good fart joke, just so you know. I mean, the immature stuff definitely gets
You're
to me,
looking
but
skinnier. Did you lose some weight? Lose some lbs?
really, I feel
Yeah.
I'm like stressed out. No,
Oh,
yeah, my lips look very plump tonight. I don't know what's going on. What up,
mhm.
Unlocked? Look at you. This Viking beard gets denser and denser every time I see him. Let me see. You're muted, dude. Sign language tonight. Everybody's got to do sign language.
All I heard was that you're plump, and I came right on.
You're like, let me join.
I go, let me see.
Let me see where you're at. Are you helping in the kitchen?
I just stepped in either water or pee on the floor, so I'm kind of cleaning it up. Yeah.
You don't have any animals, do you? Or you have cats?
I have one dog, Rosie.
Did I meet Rosie? I'm not remembering Rosie.
I think so. I don't even know how to turn this around.
Hey, Jonathan, what's funny?
Yo.
We're talking about the ships.
Aw.
Yo, dude, burn the ships, dog.
Burn the shit. Dude, that's a good beer, actually.
You had this one?
Yep. Yeah, I used to, long time ago, I used to manage the canoe restaurant in Bedford, New Hampshire. And we
I
used
could
to have,
totally see that.
yeah, it sucked, but I did it for like a year. And yeah, we used to have that beer there.
Talk to me a little bit about so you guys got a couple things going on, right? Lakeside and I'm bad with
Yeah.
anything outside of my world, but what are you talking about? Lakeside, there's a meetup?
Oh, Lakes
Yeah,
and Peaks.
yeah,
Lakes
Lakes and
and
Peaks.
Peaks?
Yep. We got a meetup next Thursday up in
Yeah.
We're doing a walkthrough of a flip that actually one of my mentors bought from us that we wholesaled to him, and he redesigned the whole house. Really, really cool project. The
Nice.
guy's genius. So we're gonna do a walkthrough, and then we're gonna meet up at Sea Dog Brewery and just shoot the shit and chat and have a couple drinks and stuff.
Who is your mentor?
Dave Caza.
Mm-hmm. Do you pay him? Did you do an internship with him, or how is he your mentor?
So no, so I actually met him. Well, he actually called me. I forget how it happened, but he contacted me because we had a property for sale. This was like a year and a half ago, and he was like, "Hey, I've heard about what you guys are doing." It was with when we had the other business, Project Relief, in place, and he was like, "I been hearing about what you guys are doing and how you're serving sellers, and I really think that's cool. I don't think it's cool, how investors take advantage of people, blah, blah, blah." We just like hit it off, and the guy's been a developer his whole life, used to run an inspection company, has flipped for like over, I don't know, 35 years or whatever. The guy's he's a genius
Nice.
with that sort of stuff. And he's done a lot of creative stuff in the past. And we kind of just connected because of the creative side of things. So, yeah.
What's his whole MO? If he's been doing this forever, right? Like what
Yeah.
thrills him nowadays? Because I feel like almost every flip that I do, I'm always like trying to reinvent the wheel. I never want to do the same thing. I want to try something different, but it just might mean that I'm like younger in my career where I haven't found the thing that tickles my pickle.
You got to find that.
I know. So what is this guy up to? Did he hit it straight out the gate? He's just one of those machines that keeps hammering until, the thing is
Yeah.
dead, or, what?
So without going into a lot of his personal stuff, he went through a couple marriages,
Yeah.
and marriages stripped him of pretty much everything that he's ever built.
Oh,
And
Okay.
that sucks.
yeah, so he had to rebuild a couple times, lost everything in like the 2006 to 2008 era,
Yeah.
and rebuilt, and then lost stuff because of the divorce, and built up a pretty reputable inspection business out here in New England. And then like 3 years ago was like, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna get back into what I know best,
Hmm.
and what could lead to more cash and stuff like that. And he's been scooping up like he pretty much scooped up like probably 60%, 65, 70% of our deals last year.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's just a good dude. He's just a really good human being. And yeah, I don't pay him or anything. It's just kind of if I need somebody to bounce something off of, he's always kind of, I don't know, I think he's like in his 60s. So he just has a lot of wisdom, he's just a good person to chat with and connect with, and give you a different perspective of stuff, because he's been through so much in his life.
Hmm.
So
I
yeah.
love I love that you have that. Well, so one of my ongoing topics with my therapist is friendships, right? In real estate.
Yeah.
And kind of like redefining things, because I do think you outgrow people to a certain extent. Like I have a
Mhm.
couple theories on friendships. Is one, you should have like younger friends, like someone in their 20s, somebody in their 30s. Like I love my Gen Y, ABCD, whatever that one is. I love those. But I also think you should have the opposite side of the spectrum, somebody who's like made it, retired, knows about the important things at life, because I think they really give you a balanced like overview on everything. But
Yeah.
anyway, personally, I'm just trying to rethink my relationships, where I invest my time, energy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It's yeah, he's been a really good fit for me, and he's very value based. He doesn't ask for like anything in return. He's just a good human. He just leads with value. So we just kind of connected from Jump Street.
Let me ask you this then, because I had a friend, Rachel, the other day. She's more of an introvert. She's married. She does her own thing. She kind of just works too much. But at
Yeah.
the same time, she has people that she wants to reach out to and connect with. And so I've been like giving people assignments to go have, like, I call it hot, sexy man dates. But like, how do you make a friend with an older guy who's 60? You know what I mean? Like
Grinder.
apart from vibing with him, the fact that you guys have similar values, you probably have deeper discussions on the first call. Obviously, there's a value exchange where you're benefiting because you're completing the transaction. He's benefiting because he has the opportunity to earn money on your deals, right?
Yeah.
Apart from that, how do you make friends with an older guy?
For me, it was just literally just started out with sharing mutual values in the very beginning. It was like, I wouldn't say all older guys would be worth trying to create a relationship or develop a mentorship with. Like,
Mhm.
I just kind of talk to a lot of people, and whenever I run into somebody that shares similar values, I'm like, those are my people. And like, I just go to bat for them. I reach out to them. I connect. I'm like, how can I help? What do you need? I just once I find somebody, I'm like, okay, you're family. I'm like, your family. What do
Yeah.
you need? And that's just my style, anyways. I don't really search for things. I just, uh, I just put my, myself, not my, just put myself out there, but I kind of put myself out. Yeah. I kind of like make sure that I'm intentional about what I talk about, and what's important to me. And then based off of how the other person responds gives me the information I need of like, hey, yeah, this is kind of this is my people, or This is not my people. You know what I mean?
So when do you, so I'm similar to you, which is I'll give you the whole enchilada straight out the gate. And then if you ruin it, you ruin it, right? And it makes it an easy decision for me to be like, oh, you didn't deserve it, rather than me trying to understand, like, does he not? So I feel like I'm in the point of life. I mean, how many kids you got now? Four, five,
Four,
four
almost five.
kids,
Don't
four
rush it.
kids. Oh yeah, you got 4.5. I remember. That's why I'm confused. You got
Yeah.
a whole family, you got a wife, you have a business that you run, you have employees that are depending upon you, right? And then there's you, just a human man, right? There's only so
Mhm.
many hours of the day. How do you get to a point where you're like this? And I know you and I talked about this with employees, right? Where people come, people go. How do you get to, do you put a time limit where you're like, let me give this a month run? I feel like with employees, if you see them every day, then you can, within a month, you can get a vibe from them. But what are your like
Yeah.
non-negotiables for somebody? What are things that you see that you're like, okay, I'm gonna pull back here? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out, I can't just be best friends with everybody. I will try to be, but like, I don't think that's a good strategy overall.
Yeah. So for me, there's only a couple things. It's like number one, number one, what's most important to me that doesn't always lead to a good business relationship, right? In real estate, is do we share the same values? Right? There's a lot of people in real estate that I share a lot of the same values with, but are just don't have the additional things that it takes to um, create opportunities, right? Because that's what we're kind of all looking for, right? Is value and opportunities into connecting with the right people and having fun in the sandbox is what I call it. You know, like I used to love playing in the sandbox. I just want fucking more people that can get along with me in the sandbox and I can have fun and won't steal my fucking dump
Hmm.
truck when I'm playing with it, you know what I mean? And make me pissed off and is like, here, can I help you put more sand in your dump truck, right? Like
Yeah.
literally just that basic shit. And then I base it off of like how consistent are they? How consistent do they show up to the sandbox with me, right? Like are they showing up all the time? Are they showing up when it's only nice weather outside? Or are they always showing up regardless of like what the weather is outside? You know, like they're consistent in what they do. Are they consistent in their character and what they want to accomplish? So do they come out and try to build a castle with me every single time, even though it keeps on getting knocked down by the bully or whatever in the playground, right? Are they consistently trying to help us like work together to accomplish the same goal and build the same structure, you know? And then the consistency is something I've been focused more on. I've always, for me, historically, I've been like a sucker for, and I just was a sucker. I brought somebody on. I was like, I shared the same morals and values. Great person, brought him on. I was like, I think I'll be able to change this person, improve them, make them a superstar, all of that sort of stuff. And I put, it took up like 40 hours of my time in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like I put a shit ton of time into this person. And then after 30 days, and now like what I'm doing to answer your question is now I put timelines on it, right? Is I'm like, you got to show me what you're made of in a certain amount of time. And I think you can see a lot of somebody in 30 days. You know, like I think if you're consistent in showing up and you're setting expectations and there's like an understanding of what the other side is going to do, and you're just observing behavior for 30 days, they'll pretty much show you, I think, in 30 days. You should be able to read that behavior. I think 3 months is a better assessment. But most, like 80% of people, I'm like, this is gonna work out and we're gonna dominate together. And this is gonna be a really powerful relationship, or we're not. And usually when in the past, when it hasn't worked out, it's me trying to will myself, right? And like liking the person, being like, yeah, I could hang out with this person, I could have drinks with this person, I could be a really close friend with this person, right? But they're not consistent, they don't show up, they've shown me kind of like the red flags, but I'm like, no, I believe in them, I'll help them. It's like trying to fix, like, are you trying to date somebody and go into a relationship to try to fix somebody, or are you going into a relationship to try to find somebody that can empower you. There's like a mutual exchange, right? Like you're exchanging energy and you're empowering them and they're empowering you. And together you're creating something greater, you know?
Yeah.
So I've historically been a sucker for trying to fix people and see the best in people and want them to, be like, oh, if I would have had what I can provide to them at their age, you know what I mean? If I would have been so happy about this opportunity and think that other people think the same way that I do, And every time that I will myself into a situation, it never works out. So, consistency, morals and values, passion, I think, like kind of like passionate about what they're doing. Like they have a deep burning drive. There's something inside of them that's like they have a deep burning drive. Like they know this is for them. They know this relationship's for them. They see the true value of what you have to provide and they're fucking wicked excited and they'll do anything because they value that so much. Like they're ride or die type of people.
I'm not gonna lie, all of that sounds really intense, but my style, I know that style because I feel like to a certain extent, I am that style of being really intense where I'm like, let's die together, bitch. Like, let's go down swinging. But
Yeah.
That's not for everyone. And so I think about, I don't know, anyone else can chime in here, but I think a lot about like leadership. Those were the things that I struggled with that I still struggle with them. And I would even put that back on you and say, when you're like, I'm a sucker for it, it's not so much that you're a sucker. I mean, you see the potential that others have, and that gets you so excited that you overlook what they're willing to do because you know you have all the energy to invest in them to make them great. But you cannot, and I've been here before, I used to call it like a wind-up doll. It was a guy who had depression, and every day I would get him like ready to go. And I felt like every day I would put all this energy into winding him up, winding him up. 5 o'clock, he's ready to go. And then I'm like,
Right.
I'm fucking tired, dude. Like,
It's true.
need a break. Bro, too much. I can't live your life. I can't jumpstart your life and then do mine.
Right.
No.
Yeah, there's gotta be that like that give and take. Like it's not exhausting. Like it's not exhausting for me to show up to work every day because what I put in, I get out of what I'm doing. Like I get the meaning and purpose and you know what I mean? Like there's that mutual exchange or what do they call it in biology? Symbiotic relationship, right?
Yeah.
Like one thing helps the other thing. And in those two things, those organisms together like create a beneficial relationship, a mutually beneficial relationship. So I guess not that everybody has to be like ride or die with their partners, but like, you know what I mean? But like there has to be some of that mutual exchange. That's how I get that from people and that's what I value, you know what I mean? But as long as there's that exchange, I guess, that mutual exchange, I think that's the most important part of it.
I'm thinking too, like when I made this group, I had said to a certain extent, obviously I have a little bit of traumatic history that I'm coming into it with. So I'm like, no snakes, but you can't advertise a group and be like, no assholes. You got to tell people what you do want. Right. So I'm trying to be like, I said something to the effect of obviously practitioners only. I've always said that people that are actually doing this kind of work, that's where your value lies. So people would come up to me all the time and be like, how can I help? And I'm like, bro, go out there and walk the fire because when you are walking the fire, that's the only time that you're learning what's real. Everything else is hypothetical of if this, if that. No. Go out there, walk the fire. The real people that are doing this stuff have real life lessons to bring back, which is the real knowledge. And then I said to a certain extent, I asked for people that are generous because I don't even know how to define that. I don't even know how to ask for that. I know I'm a generous person. I'm excited about working with other generous people. And then last one, I like where you talked about like consistency, but I think of that more as like self-awareness and ability to regulate. If you're not able to take good care of yourself and then you're going to crash out on people or on a regular Wednesday, like yikes. Or you don't have enough self-awareness to be like, oh, I fucked up. I need a snack. I need a nap, whatever the case may be. So I think of that when I think of consistency because I'm like you that like, I feel If you're into the woo-woo, I'll tell you more about human design on like another channel, but I feel like I have endless energy for the things that I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, another thing that changed, a book that I read, there's only been a few books that I've read, probably about 3 books that have really changed my perspective on things. And I started implementing it this year. It's called
Okay.
Traction. Yeah. And what I did for the first time this year, because this was always like what I kind of shared with you, or kind of like
Right here.
what I value. Yeah. What I kind of value. And what is important about Traction is bringing, like, in the very beginning of Traction, what it teaches you is kind of get an idea of what your core values are, and then come to the group with that and be like, hey, what are our core values, right? And then we
Yeah.
establish core values, and then everybody, and then you kind of set a precedence in a certain frequency for certain things, you know what I mean, of like what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, who are you looking for, you know, all of that sort of stuff. And it creates this the atmosphere. I think it kind of like creates an abundance of that atmosphere by implementing that. Just in it sounds almost corny, right? Like set up your core values, but I did it. My brother-in-law told me to do it. He runs about 8 crumbles out in California, and yeah, and that he's bought in 5 years. And he said that it was recommended to him like 4 years ago. And when he just worked on the core values and implementing those, it literally changed. It made, you needed less checklists, you needed less like have conversations and talks and trying to will people into doing things that you want them to do, like all this sort of shit. Like you just set these core values, and then you just, you know, that's who you are. That's what you're looking for, and you're putting that intentionality into the universe and eventually getting that back out.
Yeah. When you pick your core values, YouTube Caza, since you read the book and I saw all your little stickers in there, so you clearly read it.
Yeah.
How many core values are you guys picking? Like, can you, I don't think 20 core values is a core value, but like 5?
Yeah, I think I have 5, yeah, on the team.
On the team.
Yeah, for the team, sorry.
I'm saying for you, what would you consider your 5 core values? So personal and then business. Well, you don't have to give me your business, but I'm saying you as a person, because I care about you as a person.
Me, you're saying? You're asking me?
Yeah. I give you a list too, if you want, for anybody else that's listening. I got it from chat.
For me, I mean, one of the biggest things is what I call transformative value.
Oh.
And it's not just like what everybody's talks about like provide somebody else with value, right? It's like value on the next level. You know, it's like do something, like if you're going to provide value, do it to the greatest level or to the extent that like a lot of other people aren't doing, you know? And for me, that's just one of my values. Like that's something that gets me excited, is like being innovative and thinking deeper and asking deeper questions about just like sellers, about how I can provide them more value, you know? And in doing so over the years, we have found people jobs. We've got people into assisted living. We've helped them move. We've helped them pack. You know what I mean? Like we've done so much. And then because of providing that value has led into more value, where people are like, you literally, I hear from people, you know, sellers a year later, and they're like, you literally saved my life. If you only knew like what we were going through, you know what I mean? So the value part is really important to me. Consistency, accountability, kind of the things that I already talked about. Consistency, accountability, morals, you know, like high morals, ethics. Am I missing anything, babe?
No. So I probably would choose some other words. So like integrity, over
Integrity.
ethics, right?
Integrity, yeah.
Then when you talk about consistency, so I hear you, Okay. But
Mhm.
when I think of consistency, I think more along the opposite sides of things. So I would much rather have somebody who is authentically this person. And not only are they like willing to be authentic, period, but they have resiliency because every day bullshit goes down. Do they have the ability to bounce back and continue to be authentic? I would much rather have somebody authentically and somebody who has the skill of being resilient to be overall consistent rather than some person who is inauthentically being consistent. Because to me, that's going to take in so much effort to constantly fucking wind these bitches up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
hear you as a business owner that you're like, bro, I need consistency in my fucking business because I have, what do you call those? KPIs to measure your stuff by. I get that, but I'm just thinking for me, what I would look for is I would want somebody, like you said, passion. They authentically want to be here. They're not just trying to be here to impress me, whatever.
yeah.
They
And
love this. They have a story. They have whatever,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
That, and see, I would categorize that under like morals. Like that's something that's like somebody's moral value. Like that's something that I do value, but I categorize that under morals. So
Yeah.
I think we're probably talking about the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
So,
authenticity is important.
yeah, a couple other, so the list that I got from Chad Daddy says personal core value examples, the ones that people choose a lot. Integrity, doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Growth, committing to learning and evolving personally or professionally. Authenticity, being your true self. Courage, facing fear or uncertainty. Compassion, caring deeply about others. Gratitude, recognizing and appreciating the good in life. Resilience, bouncing back from setbacks with strength. Faith, trusting in something bigger than yourself. What do I call that? Okay, fine, that's faith. Creativity, valuing innovation, expression, and original thinking. Freedom, prioritizing autonomy and the ability to choose your own path. And then for business, they have excellence, holding high standards in everything you do. Customer centricity, always putting the customer first. Innovation, constantly improving and pushing boundaries. Teamwork, collaborating and supporting each other. Accountability, owning actions and results, good or bad. Transparency, being open and honest with information. Service, putting others first and creating value. Ethics, operating with fairness, honesty, and moral clarity. Passion, bringing energy and enthusiasm to work. Sustainability, caring about the long-term impact on people and planet.
Your mic is real bad. I got most of that, but it was real bad.
I figured, which is why I'm fucking right here.
Yeah. I think I got them all though.
At the end. Integrity, so personal integrity,
Oh
growth,
no.
authenticity, courage, compassion, gratitude, resilience, faith, creativity, freedom, just to give you an idea. And then for business, excellence, customer centric, innovation, teamwork, accountability, transparency, service, ethics, passion, sustainability.
These are all yours?
No, it's 10, Daddy. Just to
Oh, I was like,
top 10. No.
She's like, I don't get out of bed unless you got all that.
I was like, you got high expectations.
No. Perfect or bust. No. Because in my head, I'm thinking like, kind of like you, where you're like, listen, every day, I don't want to tell you the goddamn rules of the company. I just want you to get the overarching vision. You know, like if we're
Yeah.
going west, don't fucking ask me every 2 seconds to recalibrate. Like, ask yourself, this is what we're doing. Like,
Right.
does it be closer or further away? And then you decide, because you're a grown ass adult with the job that I have given you. So please perform. No, so I'm trying to pick, you guys talked about core values, it being good for you, right? Helps you focus. And then also like helped you kind of align where you want to be. Same thing. It's like having an overall direction for where you want to go. These are the things that are currently important. So I'm just trying to think like when I hear you talk about it, I'm like, shit, what am I doing? What are my core values? And then I have nothing in my head. So I got to go ask Chat Daddy what should be in my head. And then that's the list that I got. Yeah. So these are yours. Caza, since you read the book and you have so many doohickeys everywhere,
Read this in 2 years. So I go back through it.
what are your core values? Give me one.
I like people to be resilient, like people that I work with.
Okay.
Because like physically and mentally resilient. That's something that I am. Like I take challenges. as a challenge, and I like overcoming whatever problem that is. And if I can't overcome it, at least I know that I gave it, 100%, and I need other people like who work with me to have that same mentality. They're gonna do the same thing. Like, oh, this is hard. What should I do? Or I couldn't figure it out. It's like, well, fucking, how hard did you try? Did you
Yeah.
exhaust every fucking avenue that you
Yeah.
could in order to solve this problem?
Is
So
this like military indoctrination? I can't tell. That's the reason why I'm smiling, because I'm like, is this you or is this what the military put in you?
It's common sense, just
well, I
like
mean
go out
that,
there
and
figure it
Is
out.
it?
where I
Common
learned
sense is it?
Should be.
resiliency
I know.
is especially mental and physical resiliency is literally having 100 fucking pounds of gear on you, climbing mountains, hot as balls. I remember a particular time where I was going up this mountain and I was like, I don't think I can take another step. I was literally combat ineffective. But when everybody else around you has the same mentality and they're still going, you can't not still go. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I try to, if I have a, when I have a team, it's like, that's how we have to operate.
Yeah. So that to me goes back to this whole thing of like accountability. First time I felt like I had it was when I was in a sorority and some girl was winning an award for like animal veterinary sciences. And I have like extreme cat allergies and I'm like not good with lizards. And so in my head, I'm like, I can't compete with her. I'm not going to win. Like I'm very competitive. So if you win, then I want to win what you won. And I remember thinking like, I don't even want that. I'm so excited to see her do her damn thing. Like it raises my vibration of who I want to be. I want to be excellent in my own path because I'm so inspired by her. And then at the same point too, that whole accountability thing, if you, I hate to say this word because it's female negative, but if you puss out on that mountain, everybody else is going to watch you puss out and they're all in the same situation. And it's just that thought that you're like, I can't back out because everybody's in the same situation and I don't want to be the first to give up, that holds you more accountable to your performance on the mountain.
Yeah, that, and you put everybody else's safety in, it just wouldn't be good. But yeah, that's, I need people to be on that level of resiliency when I'm working with them. That, and like I get frustrated when people don't share the same passion that I do for something I'm working on. Even though like it's my thing, but like, why aren't you as excited about it as I am? But that's something.
I always say nobody cares as much about your stuff as you do. None of my contractors ever did. Even if they did for a day, it would like fizzle out. Nobody cares as much as you do. Nobody's going to go around shutting off all the lights and buttoning up stuff and double checking. I mean, you care because it's on your back at the end of the day. So I feel you when you say like, how come nobody's on my level? But at the same time too, like, maybe the benefit isn't there because it's not there. There's no ownership in it for them. And so that's why they're able to walk away and just shirk responsibility at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I like that thought of, so one example is I used to have people come up and ask me questions all the time. And I got into the habit of saying, instead of just giving them the answer and getting them off my plate, I used to ask them like, well, what do you think? Because I felt like they didn't even attempt to try to solve the question on their own. They just think like, I don't know, ask Suzanne, instead of critically thinking their way forward. So it's almost like teaching people how to solve their own damn problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would call that a couple of different things. Courage to actually attempt to do something, right? To have courage to even try. And then a little bit of autonomy or something else to even do it. Because I think, again, if people see you as like the ultimate leader, sometimes they don't even bother attempting on their own. They're just going to come to you and ask you for the answer instead of trying to figure it out.
The thing I do with like my teams, I've always done with my teams, the military and the team that I have now in the Guard, is I'm never the holder of all the knowledge. There's a guy on my team who's fucking way smarter than me. Just because there's a guy on my team who's smarter than I am. like when
Yeah.
it comes to different things. And he's able to like, he's got this like skill where he can just see into the future and be like, oh, these are the things that we should watch out for, you know, or this is, if this happens, this could happen. Like he's got that myopic vision, and that's super valuable to me. So like I don't make my guys feel like that they can't speak out, that they can't have an
Yeah.
idea, that they can't contribute. Because it's
Right.
like, dude, like I have more rank than you guys, but I'm not better than you. You know, so I want, not only do I want them to be resilient, I also want them to feel like they can give me ideas and they can, you know, and I'll take those ideas and go, that's a better idea than I had. So let's do that.
I'm only laughing because I think I call it anxiety.
I can't hear you.
I'm getting a laptop, I promise. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with this. It's
What'd you
because
say?
it's because I dropped it. I said I call that anxiety, that myopic view into the future of all the things. That's my everyday. I call that anxiety. All the things that can go
Yeah.
bad. Yeah. Hey, keep Lyons, we're talking about core values. So Stratton and Caza both have a book called
No one can hear you.
Yeah,
Are you fucking kidding me?
it
Are
happens
you
about
serious?
that often. Yeah.
Are you
Do you have
serious?
like, do you have AirPods or something you can put in?
No, I don't even know where to talk into this. I don't even know where the microphone is.
I
It's
think
probably
it'd
up by
be
the camera.
right center, like smack dab center.
Just switch to your phone.
You're not, okay, you're not fucking with me. Okay. All right. Point taken. It's not in and out, it's just gone.
It's in and out.
It sounds like
Okay.
you're in a fishbowl talking
Yeah.
underwater.
Yeah, that.
This is so sad. Oh, oh.
Now you're muted, so you can unmute. There you go.
Okay.
Oh my God. You gotta turn the
Better?
speaker off on your computer.
Oh, I gotta mute this? No, I'm talking here and I'm looking
No.
here.
Okay, you're good now.
Are you sure?
Oh no, I can't hear you. I'm kidding. I can hear you.
Fucking asshole. Mark, can you say something so I can make sure I can hear you?
Yeah. Hello. Hi.
Okay, good. Thank God. I'm nervous. I don't trust this anymore.
You're good. We can hear
Working.
you.
It's way better.
I will get a new, I don't want to get a new one, but I will get a new one, I guess. Or a microphone. I was thinking about getting a microphone if I record something. Anyway, sorry, but thank you. Keith Lyons, we're talking about, did you hear anything that I said or no?
Not really.
Okay, we're talking about core values. Caza and Stratton both read this book called Traction. And so they were talking about core values, and core values are maybe about 5 different things that you pick, but it's kind of like choosing a North Star such that anytime you get lost along your path, you can kind of realign yourself to that. So in speaking about core values, Stratton was saying he's looking for consistency in his employees, some sort of passion behind them, morals, ethics, integrity, accountability. And then one other one that he mentioned that I really like is he said transformative. The kind of work that he wants to do, he wants to have life-changing, impactful work. So that's another one of his values. And then with Caza, he was talking about, he's looking for, I guess, self-performers, people that contribute, they can be part of a team, and that there's enough courage to try to attempt something instead of just looking for a leader, I guess. Or Caza, if you want to put words into my mouth, you can, if I didn't do it right.
No, yeah, I was just, you know, looking for people that basically, I guess you could say don't give up. Not to sound cliche, but needed to have some sort of resilience, you know, because I think myself, I have a lot of resilience. Like it's very hard to get me down and knock me down and keep me there. I always figure it out. You know, I think people that know how to figure it out. Of course, I'm going to help people. I'm going to help team members. I'm going to help them figure things out. But like, try it on your own first. You know, exhaust your resources. Like people don't have a lack of resources; they have a lack of resourcefulness. You know, so does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Robbins said that, I'm pretty sure.
Did he? I heard that somewhere. I love that.
Yeah, little Robbins, you're so cute. Yeah. Gullifer, your core values. What speaks to you as a core value?
Like in terms of like working with people, partnerships, or
I don't know. You can do a personal core value, you can do a professional core value.
yeah, for like working with people, I mean, they need to they need to get it, they need to want it, they need to have the capacity to do it, and then people that like show up, I guess that would go with like wanting it. I think extreme ownership is good, just like
Mhm.
owning whatever it is, whatever you touch. If it goes to shit, if something happens, if it's good, if it's bad, own up to it. I think that's important, being able to chat about that stuff kind of comes into owning up to it. Um, yeah, resourcefulness is always good. Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking this in regards to like friendship, because that's how the topic first came up is for friends that you're keeping. So he was talking about having a mentor. And then when we talked about his mentor and why they vibed, he's like, they have the same core values. And
Hmm.
then action came up, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's probably the direction that I'm going in is, or when I think about this, when I think of core values, I guess it's the people that I work with, partner with, want to keep as friends as I move forward, not just employees, but people that are kind of like my level counterparts and up. At some point, I guess hiring employees is fine, but I'm saying like the friendships that you keep,
I
the
think it
friendships.
also applies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extreme ownership, right? You said extreme ownership, resilient. Um,
Yeah. The first part was more employee geared, but even still, like, get it, want it, have the capacity to do it. You need, if it's even if it's a friendship, you need people who like understand what the friendship is, like what you're bringing to the table and in what capacity.
mm,
Want it, like, I don't know. I've been out to dinner with people who are like quote unquote friends and stuff, and like you're trying to talk, and like they're even in business too. It's like real estate related, and they're just like on their phone or doing just like not present, like in the conversation. You can like tell. So it's just like I don't chill with that kid. I don't talk to him. Like it's fine, but um, in the
you don't give
capacity to
them,
do it, that's
you don't give them an opportunity to correct where you say like, hey, I don't appreciate that. Would you mind not doing it?
yeah, no, not really. It hasn't been worth it because he's shown like this particular person's shown themselves in other ways as well.
Mhm.
That's just like why bother? It's kind of like not the feeling that Stratton had on like wanting to make them better. It's like the opposite. I'm like, all right, dude, I get it. It's fine.
Mm.
But yeah.
Keith Lyons, when we talk about core values, what stands out to you? So remember I gave you hot, sexy mandate for your friend,
Yeah.
right? Don't worry, I won't ask you just yet if you did it or didn't do it. But one of the things Stratton was talking about is he says people that he aligns himself with have the same core values. So within that direction of having same core values with this person or this person that you admire, what core values do the two of you share that makes you want to be friends with this person or have a relationship working or whatever?
Uh, actually, one of the basic things is why do you get out of bed in the morning? You know, it's funny you talk to people and some of my guys, I'll ask them, just they'll be doing something or whatever. It'll catch me for a second, and I'll say, Dave, why'd you get up this morning? What do you mean? Why'd you get up? Well, you gotta get up. You wake, you know what I mean? And he oblivious to why they get up in the morning. You know, I mean, you got to get up in the morning. You got to have a direction. Very simple. You know, you got to have
What's
goals. You got to have a
what's
direction,
your
and
what's your
and
direction?
and they got to try to be 1% better every day. Try to move forward. Try to make things happen. You know, the guys I associate myself with, I try. You know, past few days, I've been associating with Natapong and stuff, doing some stuff for him, and we always have great conversations. You know, he's always telling, you know, we're always talking about what are you doing, where you going, you know what I mean? What's coming up, you know, you know, just direction. And I just had a conversation with Sally that we get a date for her family usually has a family reunion or something like that, and I hate going to them. You know, I just hate going to them. And finally, we had a discussion about it this time anyway. Usually, I don't say nothing, but she says, "Well, why do you hate going to them?" I said, "Sal, all I ever do is sit down at them reunions, and what do you guys talk about? The past. Not one conversation is directed to where you're gonna be, where you're going. What's you know what's in your future? What are you doing? You know what I mean? There's just no direction, people. There's just no direction, people. I mean, I just, you know, core values just speak the truth. You know what I mean? Like you say, accountability. You know, be accountable to yourself. You got to be accountable to yourself. You know, I mean, I just, and you know, I don't know, it keeps you focused. You know, if you count, if your accountability for yourself, you can always tell somebody that's accountable to themselves because they have confidence. Very simple. I can talk and within 30 seconds, I can tell you if you have confidence or not because you don't lie to yourself. You know what I mean? People that lie to themselves, they have no confidence because they don't keep promises they've made to themselves. You know what I mean? Everybody puts stuff off. I procrastinate with stuff. You know, everybody kind of does, but I don't lie to myself. You know what I mean? I do pretty much what I said. You know, I do it for other people. When I tell other people I'm going to do something, that's what I do. Very simple.
Good stuff.
Did you say confident?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
confidence.
My hearing is not good. I was just trying to make sure that was the word that you said. The
Yeah.
other thing that I'm thinking of when you say this, so I'll pull the phrase or the expression, but Tony Robbins also said something to the effect of like the most powerful force in a person's life is the way that a person defines themselves.
Mhm.
Does that kind of make sense? And so
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I bring that up is because a long time ago, something happened. I define myself as kind of like a nice person. And I found out like I fucked up pretty bad. And so 3 o'clock in the morning, I drove like 2 hours to go fix this because I couldn't fall asleep at night. And I remember thinking about this all night that like I was tired. I was ready to like call it quits. But once I found out that this something was not aligned, it gave me all the energy to go and fix it because that's such a driving force in my life. That's just a way that I define myself, that I could not act inconsistent with the way that I defined who I was. So
Yeah,
it makes me think more along the lines of that you define yourself as a certain type of person, which is the reason why you get up, you do exactly what you said, not because of anybody but else, but because that's just this guiding force that you have within you. I am Keith motherfucking Lyons. I define myself as X, Y, and Z, which is, doesn't matter when nobody's looking, I'm going to do exactly these things. And then I'm also thinking as an entrepreneur, that's probably why you might get bored at family reunions because you're thinking about all the possibilities all the possibilities going forward. And I think that almost is like an entrepreneurial streak. You're only going to find that with other entrepreneurs that love to live in that fantasy of the future compared to maybe average people. I don't know. Fight me on it if you want to. Anybody is welcome to do so, but that's just the thought I'm having when you speak.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much is a saying that always stuck in my mind. Zig Ziglar said, reading some of his books, is a person cannot consistently perform in a manner which is inconsistent to the way he thinks and feels. Just
Yeah.
can't do that, you know?
Yeah. Tony Eisenhower, Greg? Core values.
One of my greatest core values is to always do the right thing. And if you're coming across something that's difficult to make a decision about, think about what the right decision is, and then follow through with it, no matter what it is.
How do you figure out the right decision when it's
Integrity and decisiveness. Nice.
How do I figure out what the right thing to do is?
Yeah.
I guess that's a matter of perspective, and it's all subjective, right? And perspective is your own reality. I would say, I don't know, all my life experiences, I use that, and I apply it to whatever the situation is, and I make the best decision that I can. And if I'm wrong, I humbly admit that I'm wrong and try to fix the situation, and I'll know better next time.
One of my favorite quotes is Maya Angelou, do your best until you can do better. Do your best until you know better. When you know better, do better. Meaning you just do your best. And then if you have more information that changes things, motherfucker, go back and fix it, sort of deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. I guess it's not a quote directly, but I guess from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations is doing the right thing is the gift in itself. So that's why you should do it, not to get a reward, but just because it's the right thing to do.
The right thing to do is a gift and a what?
No matter, don't expect anything out of doing the right thing. Pretty much, the right thing is the gift in itself. So don't expect anything back.
Oh, the gift in itself. Okay, got it. Thank you. Tony Eisenhower,
What up?
get your ass over here.
What's going on?
We're talking about, and by we, maybe just me, talking about relationships, friendships, right? And
Yep.
so Stratton brought up, there's a guy that he has a lot of respect for, and there's a value exchange between the two of them. And so I said, okay, well, how do I make friends with men? Because in this life, we need friends with people that are doing better than us. And as we evolve and become better at what we do, we're going to be the lesser friend at times, maybe when we're making new friends. Anyway, and so one of the things that he brought up was core values. And he says that when he syncs up with somebody, he's looking for shared core values because he read a book called Traction. And after reading that and talking to his brother-in-law, there were some positive changes in that direction. And so we were talking about core values, maybe having about 5 core values. But if I was to bring up the topic of core values, what kind of comes to mind when you hear that? When you think of, okay, I'm making friends with people, or I'm trying to, make connections with people, I'm looking for shared core values. What core values do you possess that you're looking for in others that tells you, I want to invest in this person, I want to do things with this person, I want to grow with this person, I want to build with this person?
Yeah, I would say that's like so awesome. I was listening to Keith too, and like what Keith was saying, what aligned with me a lot because, like, if it's one thing to preach stuff, but it's really hard to, like he said, have like be a person in your mind and then be a different person in real life, right? Like, so for me, it's always leading with example. Like even for my kids, even being a parent, like my kids see me work out every day. They see me like make these sacrifices, and they're gonna learn so much just by me leading by example, right? So I think you can learn a lot from somebody just kind of like examining their life and see how they move throughout their day and see what activities they do, see what kind of promises that they make and can, or if they say they're going to be there at 5 and they're 20 minutes late every time, that says a lot about somebody. They don't respect your time. So I think stuff like that, little stuff like that, is really important to me. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Don't say you're going to do it if you can't do it. I would much rather somebody just say no to me than them be like, lead me on and be like, yeah, let's do it. I'd love to do that. And then when it comes down to it, they blow you off. There's nothing worse. So I think a big core value is, I don't know what you'd call it, but sticking to things that you say, like really, really try to stick to your promises, and lead by example.
Yeah. Anybody have a better way of saying what he's saying? Doing what you said you were going to do?
Pretty much. what it
No,
is.
you don't copy my words. You can make up your own damn words.
No, I mean,
I think that
No.
covered it well. Do what you say
Yeah.
you're gonna do. You know,
Mm.
be about it. How about that?
keep your
Don't talk
word.
about it, be
No,
about it.
be about it.
Yeah,
I don't-
like have a spine, you know, like if you want to say
Mm.
no, say no. Like don't just be the yes man. I hate that. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, I totally respect somebody's time, and if they say no or whatever, it's like I respect that more than them just leading me along.
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now if that's like a personality thing, like if it's you know, if it's I don't know, how do you call it? Like if it's a communication skill or if it's a like integrity, personality, behavior thing. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Because one of the other things that I've noticed lately, I can't remember what was happening, but I feel like with women talk softly. They'll give you 1,000 reasons why we can't do something because it's their way of saying no, versus a man will be like, fucking no. So anyway, I was talking to this guy, I guess, I have a friend who is an attorney who needs help and he wants to hire this guy and make him like a co-owner. And the guy is essentially like telling him no 2,000 ways, but he's not exactly saying no. And so this is how the conversation came up, that it's not actually a no until a man says no, versus a woman who might give you like 10,000 reason why it's not going to work out and hope that you accept it as a no, even though she didn't tell you no straight up. So anyway, I've been thinking a lot about like communication skills, the ability to come straight out the gate and be like, no, and not have to defend it, not have to explain it. If the answer is no, I'm just going to tell you no. Versus like, I don't know, like somebody's personality style who's like, they think that they can do these things, but when push comes to shove, they can't actually follow through on it.
yeah.
But then it's also a communication thing because as soon as you know you're not going to follow through, update me. But even then, I'd much rather you just tell me straight out the gate. You can or
Yeah.
cannot. Know yourself enough to, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously stuff happens. Like if you commit to something and something happens, that's different. That's totally
Right.
cool. But yeah, I think what Keith said too about like going to party. I kind of missed the beginning of that, but like
Yeah.
that's something that we're going through now, Ashley and I. It's like, you know, we're kind of shedding friends at this point and we're getting to that next level of like you know, our old friends aren't really on the same path as us. So I've been hanging out with like a lot of you guys a lot more. And we just been spending more time with people that are kind of like on the same path as us. So it is tough going to parties and you almost have to like remove your brain and like walk into these places, like especially with family for us. You know, it's like they don't understand any of the stuff that we're doing and they almost don't even like appreciate any of it, you know. So it's tough to talk about it to certain people who aren't in the same mindset. They just
Um,
don't get it.
Is it that they don't get it and they don't speak real estate, so you can't tell them like all the cool, fun stuff? Is it that you tell them something and then immediately they love you and they care for you, and so they think, let me try to protect him and warn him about all the bad things that could happen?
Yeah,
Um,
both of those.
okay.
I would say both of those, but honestly, mainly like just lack of knowledge. You know, people only know what they know, and we've been in a lot of rooms and spent a lot of money on obviously to learn this stuff. And when you try to talk to people who don't have the knowledge, it's tough because they just don't get it. You know?
Yeah. But I also think it kind of goes hand in hand with what Stratton was talking about earlier. So we had a conversation about like employees, people that will come to him. And in the beginning, they come out the gate swinging. They're so excited. They want to do this, that, and the other. But when push comes to shove and when it's time to perform, they don't have the discipline, the willpower. They're lacking the follow through.
Mm.
So I don't know. I'm trying to think because I feel like the same thing when it comes to like your loved ones. Like if you know something is like, this works, right? And it's a good thing and you want to share it with the people that you love. And then when you start to do that, you're like pushing something on it. You're pushing something on them that's not what they want. You know what I mean? Like from where you stand, you're like, this is real, this raspberry is really fucking delicious. You should eat this raspberry. I eat it all goddamn day and I fucking love it. And then you're talking to somebody who may or may not have like raspberry trauma or allergies to raspberry. You know what I mean? Like, so I had this guy that I like a lot. He calls it nonviolent communication. and it talks about how you interact with people, how you love on people. So I see things more along that kind of perspective rather than kind of pushing something on them that I think is great. I just tell them that I love them and that I want to support them in the way that they want to be supported, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
But I also understand how frustrating it is to like something and want to share it and want to talk about it and not having a place to do that.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny you said that too, because actually Pace said this on a Zoom. I think this was yesterday or the day before, and he kind of opened up about his family and how like
Yeah.
when he goes to parties, it's the same thing. It's like he almost has to remove his brain from the situation and just walk in and talk about how good the game is and like talk about how good the food is and like not talk about business at all because again, his family just doesn't understand everything that he's doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's huge.
But there's a time and a place for it. So for example, I have this thing. Yeah, I love him. Because I gave you him. Yeah. A long time ago, I said that I was in a cult in Florida, and I lovingly call it my cult phase. But the guy that was there, he talks about it and he calls it circles of identity. And so, like, you as a husband, you as a family man is one circle of your identity. You as a business owner, as an employer, is another circle of your identity. Let's say you go to church, right? Let's say you have a running club that you're part of. Let's say that obviously you're in Sub 2 New England leadership. Each one of these circles that has a facet of you, right, that interacts with it is considered your circle of identity. So even though you have this circle, which is family and friends, and you go to the, what do you call that? You go to the, what's the thing called?
What thing? Squat up?
No, when you get together with your family once a year. Yeah. Sorry, when you get together with your blood family and you pretend that you like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there's still value to that. Like I hear you, Stratton, when you said, all they do, who was it? Keith, you were like, yeah, you said all they do is talk about the past. Like, who cares? To a certain extent, there's joy in talking about the past because it's a very loving way of saying, like, look at your growth, right? To me, that's another important thing that I try to do nowadays too, is like, yes, look into the future and it's exciting and blah, blah, blah. But there's also times to like stop and reflect on how much growth you've had. Because if you're not doing that, then you don't able to kind of have the joy or to have the power to kind of get through the everyday grind of things. Because if you think about it, if you never saw yourself grow, then every day pushing yourself through tough shit, you're going to lose your steam at some place. But if you're able to say, like, I've been through plenty of tough shit and there's going to be more, I just know. But anytime I've gone through tough shit, I've always said, I'm not the same person I was when I started. And therefore, because of that growth, I know that this is a priceless thing that I've been given this opportunity to grow. As tough as this is, you know what I mean? So there's value in each of your circles of identity. According to the cult, if you lose your circle of identity, the less number of circles you have, the closer to depression you get. And the more circles of identity you have, the more stable you are. Again, it's a cult, take it for whatever you want to take it. But I thought a lot about it that like if I ever dropped a role that I was doing, that I quickly would think, I need to go get another role real fast to stabilize myself. But a circle of identity, there's value in everything that you do. I guess the question that I'm asking now, and most of you are also asking, is what's the best use of my time and energy for the maximum return on my investment, which is your time and energy, if that makes sense. The other thing that I'll also pose to you is if your blood family doesn't speak real estate and you don't have a lot of like friends, why are you guys not starting your own communities? I mean, I know Caza, you have your podcast. Stratton, you have the Lakes and Peaks and Lakes. Keith, Lyons, I totally think you should have hot, sexy mandates in Maine. I don't know what you want to call it, but we can help you come up with a name. But like even you, Eisenhauer, like what are you guys doing? Like Mark used to have his own meetup in the North Shore, and then he's kind of bringing it back. Only one time so far. You need another meetup on the calendar. Oh, but he has a weekly call that he does on Wednesdays. And Eisenhauer, I don't know of anybody doing shit in Worcester. There's tons of people doing in Worcester, but nobody's doing like some sort of organized thing where you get together. Apart from you, I know you did a meetup at your house at one time, almost a year ago with your wife, because she had a charcuterie board that I saw.
That was at one of
But
our clips. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you, if you don't have what you want, why are you not creating it?
Yeah, no, that honestly, that's on the board, the vision board this year to create some sort of community locally. That's
Yeah.
definitely one of my goals for this year. So
Are you doing anything to move towards that
um
right
I'm
now?
I'm
I
speaking
know
at
you're busy.
a lot more engagements this year. I'm
Good.
actually speaking at like a mastermind in front of 200 people at the end of May, which is like
Okay.
super uncomfortable for me. And I actually I'm hiring like a what do you call it? A coach on that too, to do more of that, because that's one of my goals too, is to be more of like a storyteller and be able to present better. And because I think that's so important with stuff that,
Mhm.
I mean, any industry, but real estate especially, stuff that we do, being able to convey what we do and like tell it in a story is so important. So yeah, that's on the vision board this year as well.
I love it. I had this, I don't know how many of you guys, I think leadership knew, and this was probably before your time in leadership, but I had this thing called stages where I thought like everybody needs to have visibility. It was kind of the beginning of a creative elite. I wanted us, every single person, to be on stage, to be forced to be on stage, because you actually know so much more than you give yourself credit for. So I had a couple things I want to do. Number one, I had this thing called the Stages Project where you got like, it was a whole thing because it's me. But then the other thing I was also thinking of is I always thought whenever you see those videos of like friends, like once a year at Christmas, they do a PowerPoint presentation on any topic of their choosing. I always thought that would be really fun that each person picked something to just like nerd out about for 5 minutes. Because we actually, anytime we did these accountability calls, we had a lot of fun listening to each other talk about whatever autistic nerdy expression they had for 5 minutes. And the goal was to keep it short because everybody could go on for like an hour and we would watch enthusiastically for an hour, but it wouldn't really like move the needle forward. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a mini 5 minute TED talk. But I definitely like this direction that you're going in. You're gonna have to force yourself through some things, and that's the only way that you're gonna get better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been tough, like again with the friends situation, but at the same time,
Mhm.
it's been months now, and we're kind of over it. It's like, why were we even hanging out with those people to begin with, you know? So
Do you have friends that you're like, I want to be friends with this person, I don't know how? Do you have people that you're like, I think I want to be friends with this?
I mean, like past friends, you mean, or new friends?
No,
I'll
I'm
be your
saying
friend,
maybe
Tony.
Stratton, we are friends. I thought we were friends.
That's not
Oh,
what
this
he
is
told me.
awkward now.
Best
Dear
friends.
diary. Yeah. So he has a meetup. So Stratton, this is the other thing I want to talk to you about too, is when you do create these like hyper local communities of yours. Technically, this is my hyper local community, and it's selfish of me too because you guys keep me accountable, right? Because I provide this space to speak in. I need to grow. I want to watch you grow as well. So this is my little thing that I do. And obviously in the past, I used to do more stuff with sub two, but then I ran into burnout and I'm concerned. I don't want you to run into burnout, Stratton. So I'm curious, what are your intentions with Lakes and Peaks? How are you going to make that work for you? Or are you even going to make it work for you? Or is it filling another need of yours to do it? Because anything you do takes time and energy away from the business that you have, which is already demanding too much on you that you got to hire all these people, plus wife and 4.5 kids.
What was the question?
Oh my God.
Question is, Lakes and Peaks.
Yeah.
How does it benefit you? What are you selfishly going to get out of it? How are you going to make it work for you?
For me, it's about having out here, having a local community to be a part of and to provide value to others and help others accomplish shit that's going on. I guess selfishly, like I know from meeting more people and just obviously networking, it'll eventually lead to people feeling more comfortable to doing creative deals because that's always the hardest thing, especially with agents and stuff like that. So selfishly, I know that that's kind of the long-term agenda or goal, I guess you could say, but really it's like forefront is like I'm a community team player type of person. That's just always kind of been me. And yeah, there's just not a community there wasn't a community out here. So I found, before it was Lakes and Peaks, it was a Lakes Region real estate meetup. And then I was asked to host it and then essentially just kind of take it over. So we're, what I'm kind of, one of my goals now is to like expand beyond the Lakes region. And why we're calling it Lakes and Peaks is to expand into like the Mount Washington Valley and Lincoln, area, Moon Mountain out towards there, Woodstock. And yeah, just build give kind of a venue for people to come together and talk about real estate and be able to, network and help each other, serve each other, stuff like that.
I think a lot about like the whole pace, the way he set things up. And I always tell people like, make no mistake about it. That man makes buku bucks doing what he does. And I know he always says like, I don't make a dime from the mentorship. Bro, you have 16,000 people, 8,000 minimum product package, hundreds of millions of dollars to begin with. Then you have Gator, then you have TC, Owners Club, then you got your little events that you do that are like 3 million a pop, if not more. Right. So you make big money doing that. He makes, obviously, because he's not the only one selling mentorships out there. You don't sell a mentorship. So that's the thing that I always try to stress on people is he can answer those shitty questions that people ask 10,000 fucking times. How do I call an agent? And he gets terse at times, but he can do that because he essentially his needs are being met. His needs to provide for his family, to have a business that runs itself, to the health of his family, everything is all taken care of so that he can go and serve on this higher level of selling a mentorship and then answering and being a shepherd to this flock that has paid him, right? You don't have that. And so one thing I always try to tell people, and I think one of the reasons why I burned out is I'm being a shepherd to a flock that I don't get paid for, and my needs are being neglected and are not being met. And so that's why I need to cut everything off, go back to making money, paying for all the shit I got to pay for. And once my basic needs are met, then I can go out and do higher level shit. This is also the reason why I hate, what is it, go-giver mentality? Is that what they call it? Go-giver? Fuck that. I hate that. In my opinion, you cannot be a go-giver unless your needs are fucking met. Once your needs are fucking met, then you can go do all the beautiful things that you want to do. And I know you want to do them. I know that that's your style of doing it, but I believe, going back to the whole conversation about being resilient, you can be resilient if your needs are met. Once your needs are not met, sweetie, you're not resilient anymore. You're going back to fill your needs before you can go back into taking care of people again. And so that's why I try to tell people, like, make no mistake, Pace is a great person to look up to in doing that, but also understand the mechanics behind that. Do not fucking be this sacrificial lamb and fucking 24 hours a day sell your soul online and not get paid because you got a family to take care of or you have dreams to go out and tackle.
It's kind of like when you're on a plane and they tell you to put your mask on first before you help anybody else.
Yes. Yeah. So that's why I try to tell people, like, make it work for you. And I'm not saying this in a weird sort of transactional relationship where it's like, you give me one, I'll give you one. I'm saying there has to be a value exchange going back and forth. And I'll tell you, like, a couple of great things for me. I never regret anything that I ever did for Sub 2 New England. Like I fucking gave them too much. But I don't regret it because the opportunity, the person I was when I started and the person I was after going through it was not the same. And I would not have had that growth had I not had that opportunity. And yes, I created the opportunity, but the growth that I had, the platform that I was on, the people that would ask me questions and fucking just tackle me left, right, and center 24/7 built me into the person that I was, right? So for the growth that I had, for the friends that I made, because obviously we went through some shit. I have some really amazing friends, so I will never regret it. And yeah, it's an experience. It's definitely an avenue to grow in. And so I grew and I got good friends, and that's why I did it. That's also why I continue to do it now, because one of the big benefits that I had back when I was doing it was the accountability. I would never be the person that I am today had I not had this space to, like, see my friends and be held accountable. I would not. I fucking wouldn't pick up the phone. I wouldn't talk to anybody. And that's what ended up happening. I think my first deal I ever got, I started being leader back in like February, like full time. And by May, I was pissed that I had nothing to show for it. And so like one night at 3 a.m., I sent out a mass email, BCC'd like 300, 400 people. And the next morning I had 3 emails, and that's how I got my first deal. That was it. But I would never have done that had I not had to show up to a group like this and be like, I'm the leader and I haven't done shit. I'm the leader. I made zero fucking money. Everybody else is making money. Z at one point used to piss me off because he's like, I got paid $100,000 and I only took out the trash. And I was like, this asshole. And then ever since then, all my flips have been 100,000. But he set the standard that whatever that thing is, like you run the 5-minute mile now, everybody can do it. I'm grateful for all of that. So this is what I'm saying when I say like, make it work for you, not in some weird, microscopic mechanical way, but in a value exchange. There has to be a selfish value that satiates your needs, because if your needs are not being met, you are going to go elsewhere. You're going to drop what you're doing. And it's kind of a shame to like put in so much effort building up something, right? Obviously, Stratton, you're adopting the group after somebody else dropped it, right? Why did they drop it? Because they didn't find the value exchange. So find the value exchange. If the value exchange is I want to meet some cool people, I want to, attract some lenders that are going to fund my business. I don't need all the upside, but I need enough to make it make sense for me investing my time here. That's what you need to set for yourself. Because the minute that you find out that the value exchange is unequal, you're going to drop it.
Sure.
And nobody's going to blame you for it. I mean, maybe they will, but I won't, because I'll be like, yeah, it makes perfect fucking sense. There's no such thing as the go-giver. I said what I said. Yeah.
Mhm.
But building communities, Eisenhower, Gregg, Tuck, are you building any community where you're at? Or you're just like happy with your warrior group?
I'm in a couple groups. I'm not the leader of any of them, and I don't intend on building any groups. I was a big go-giver in the beginning of Sub 2, but I got burned out. Fuck a go.
No. Can you talk about why you got burned out? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm completely okay with it. People asking the same stupid fucking questions all the time, answering the stupid fucking questions all the time, and
Yeah.
people taking and I don't know. I don't see where the middleman was in that at all, because I never got opportunities brought to me. It was always me helping other people out, which on my own time now, of course, I'll help somebody out if they really need it. You know what I mean? I don't mind at all, but I do it on my own time, not theirs. And, whenever you make yourself available, then, you have to do the right thing and, help other people. I did make a post recently. A couple of people reached out and I helped them because I felt like giving back to the community a little bit. But it's god awful whenever there's, maybe 50 or 60 people hitting you up, and then, 10 of them are hitting you up every day, and you're trying to run a business and manage your flips and your other projects that you got going on. It's just it was too much for me. There was a lot of Zooms, and I had the VA business on top of that. And my clients were fucking retarded as well, because they asked the same stupid ass questions and didn't do what I asked. I don't have the business anymore, so I don't care. Fuck them. But that's why it's just too much.
The
Are
thing
you,
is,
are you a vet, dude? Are you a vet?
I am not a vet, no sir.
Oh, man, you talk
Yeah.
like one. I love it.
Appreciate it, dog.
he's very like, well, he hangs out with Tyler, what's his name? Tyler Russo?
Oh, Tyler Austin.
Tyler Austin, and he's very military, so he might be picking it up from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll answer the stupidest questions ever. I used to be on acquisitions, and I like it. I will answer the stupidest questions ever because I'm getting paid to answer those questions, right? And because I know like I'm going to carry you through the finish line. But if I'm not getting paid, honey, no, I'm not your mom. Get off my dick. I don't know how to say this nicely, but that's how I felt. But what I will tell you is I was in the same boat where I like helping people. It feels good to do that. So what I would do is something like this. On my own time, I would hold office hours once a week, and I would say, I'm not talking to you outside of this. I want to be friends, but I got shit to do. But I will make myself available during these 2 hours. Come and find me these 2 hours. The other thing that I'll also tell you is like when I look at people that are successful, and I look at a lot of women, so like Taylor Swift, Fenty, who's that, Rihanna, and the girl with the lips, Kylie Jenner. Yeah. So when I look at all these women, they're self-made young female billionaires. What did they do? They were visible. And so to me, being visible, having some sort of public whatever, as much as I don't want to do it, I'm just thinking because the other day I saw a video of myself and I had to see my ass. Eisenhauer knows this. I saw my ass from behind and it wasn't good, so I didn't post it. It was so bad. I look like a grandma wearing a diaper. And in my head, I was like, how come nobody told me? Because I'm alone all the time and nobody talks to me because I'm the boss. Nobody's gonna comment on my outfit. Anyway, so in my head, I'm like, I need to be visible and I wanted to post that. And part of me was like, no, I can't. This is really bad. But then I guess I should post it because it's authentic. I don't know. I don't know. It was really bad. But anyway, you got to be visible. Maybe I should post it. I don't know. We'll see.
Getting caught up in your own values.
What's my value? Not to look like I have a full diaper as like a 38-year-old woman. It was really bad. Listen, I know that I'm not a Latina. I know this, but I did not know the other side of reality. And it was shocking. And I'm like sweating right now just thinking about it. Maybe I'll post it. Maybe I'll post it so that one day I can look back and be like, that's not me anymore, hopefully. Or one day I'll look back and I'll be like, you see how good I had it? I should have never said anything. Thank God I posted this. Anyway, but going all the way back, I think it's important for you to be visible, right? Like the girls in the beginning and how much shit all of them took over the years. How much, people have a lot to say, especially about women. You should look like this. You should act like this. You shouldn't be big. You shouldn't be loud. You shouldn't be seen. And the fact that they did all that, I genuinely believe that the reason why they have had so much success is they shared themselves on such a large scale, so much, right? Like whenever they launched products like they did, Selena Gomez has her rare beauty thing. People would not have bought her product had they not known that it existed, one. And two, they felt like they knew her, understood her core values because they had seen so much of her. And so again, when I think about like having success, lately I've been thinking a lot about visibility, being seen for who you are. I don't know how to do it though. But if I want to be successful, I think you have to be seen. I think that's really important.
And I think
Anyway.
it's even to add to that too, Sharky, I think with where we're kind of going in, like our society right now too, like the landscape was way different 15 years ago in real estate, where being visible on social media does make you money, like
Yeah.
every seller, every agent that I talk to looks to see if I'm visible online,
Yeah.
and what content I have, what I'm saying, what reviews I have, if I'm on LinkedIn, like all of that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
So I think
I
it's
think especially when it comes to creative sounds so fucking too good to be true that I know for me, even before I bought the mentorship, I waited for a year. My first internet friend was this guy that I was trash talked to all the time. And we'd be like, how much is it? Do you know? Did you do anything? Do you know anybody on the inside? Like for a year, I talked to this guy and I watched all this stuff. I don't think I watched it to learn. I watched it to see like where he was going to fuck up, where I was going to find out. It's that confirmation bias. I'm looking for a crack to say no to it. I really want to say yes, but I don't know, maybe I can't allow myself to say yes. So I'm looking for all the little cracks. But yeah, no, I definitely think it's important to be seen. I love the stuff that you're putting out there. Fabulous. Yeah, being seen and documenting is another big thing. So I yell at Mark all the time where I'm like, you need to record. He does a weekly call every Wednesday. And I'm like, just record what you do, whatever it is you're doing. He's constantly 10 gajillion places, Leominster one day and like Cape the next, Rockport, places I've never even fucking heard of. Document it. Marcus, what are you doing?
Yeah, good call.
Where's
No,
your documenting?
I know I need to. It's like it's a whole other. Did you poke a straw through the? Anyways,
Yeah, she did.
I saw that too.
That's like all I saw.
This is, oh, here's my camera. This is good. It's great. Anyway, you're welcome.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah, you're right. I need to do more. But it's like, but then if you're gonna, I know you just need to do it. But if I'm gonna do it, I want to put the care into doing it, and then that means like different angles than like me just driving and having my phone in the holder. I know doing it is better than not doing it, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna take the time to do it, and that's why I don't do it. So Here we
You
are.
need me to post my diaper video and then you will post whatever you post. I swear to God, if you, all of you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if each of you post a video, I don't give a flying fuck what you post, be on the toilet talking about, you know, the real estate, the real estate climate, you could be on. I don't know why poop jokes make me laugh so hard.
Should I
But
drink
if
a
you
half a
post
bottle of
Keith
whiskey and then
Lyons,
post a video?
yeah, you know, yeah, exactly. Run around your fire, beating your chest. Keith
Oh my
Lyons,
God.
if you make an Instagram post this week, I will release my diaper video. Hand on my heart, I will release my diaper. It's very unflattering.
It's a
I have a
video?
diaper. I have a lumpy ass, and I don't even know what they're called. Love handles, to the point where I was like,
Yeah, happens.
I'm sweating right now just thinking about it. It is bad. And I told Eisenhower's like, send it to me. And I was like, no, nobody can have this. And then I retook the video and it was still there. It wasn't any better. But listen, okay.
What was it up? What were
If
you doing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll make you a promise right now. If each of you post this week, this fucking week, I don't care what you post about, real estate, well, yeah, it should be real estate based. Post about real estate, some real estate activity you are doing this week. I promise you, I will release my diaper video.
And,
I can dig it out of my trash can. It's not permanently deleted. I know
and
this.
bring it back to you, Mark, too. I think what Sharkey is really emphasizing right now is authenticity. So stop thinking so much about posting shit and just be authentic and just post shit.
Yeah. I got a
Yeah.
couple
You
drafts
don't have a
saved.
diaper ad. What'd you say?
I got a couple drafts saved.
Why
Ready
are
to
you
go.
not posting? Why are you not posting it then? What's holding you back?
Just got a finishing touches, you know.
What's the finishing touch? What's missing? Do you take out your phone right now? Because this is on your computer, right?
I'm on my
Take out your
computer.
phone
Yeah.
right now. Good.
Yeah,
Go
it's just
pull up the draft right
it's
now
literally
and
just a
tell me.
video of like the auction the other day in Haverhill.
That's great. Do that one.
Yeah. And then I have another post in Canva that is just
No,
gonna be
no.
like
Okay, what's wrong with the auction video? What's missing?
needs some editing, right? You know.
What? No, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
I mean,
What
yeah, it needs
editing?
some. It's gonna
What,
get
what
up there. Don't worry. It's on its way.
this week?
Tomorrow.
I will exchange 1/6 of the diaper video for your Instagram post.
Like dial up.
Like dial up?
Yeah, like downloading on dial up.
What's dial up?
Come on.
Internet?
Oh,
Dial-up.
got it. Sorry. I was like, what is dial up? Is that an app? Sorry.
You should
The
create a
new
new
hip-
video, Sharky, drinking out of that gallon jug with a straw with your.
It's fucking genius. Listen, I will tell you this. When I was in 3rd grade, I thought of sending our trash to the moon. No, sending our trash into a black hole when I first learned about black holes. And then like 30 fucking years later, that shit came out and I was like, oh, I have lots of great ideas. This is very one small of them. Anyway, diaper video first because it's real estate based. And then maybe I'll share some of my other life hacks out there. Keith Lyons, if I ask you to post something on the interwebs this week, what would you you should post your lunch date with your hot, sexy man friend.
No, I'll go up in that
Oh shit, my phone's
Chinese
dying.
grow house, that Chinese grow house I bought. That's half burnt. I want to make a colonial out of it. I'll go up and videotape that. Show you
Say,
what it
I'm so
looks like
sorry.
before I start.
My phone died. I'm so sorry. I heard colonial and then that's all I heard.
Yeah,
One more
no,
time.
one of my rehabs I got, we're just getting going, starting on. It was a Chinese grow house and it caught on fire. So it's a dormant cape and I'm taking the top off it. It's all burned anyway. I want to take the top off it. I want to make colonial on it.
I love that.
So I'll walk around and do a video on it.
I love that. Easy, right? Just record it. So one thing that I did is I did a recording, but then like the microphone was kind of crap. There's a thing on the bottom. If you want, you can call me. I'll help you. You can do a voiceover on the bottom. It's pretty easy, but you just hold up the phone to your mouth and it makes it really clear, the audio, when you're recording. Greg Tuck. You know what I was thinking too, because this week's theme is kind of like friends, right? Making higher level friends or maybe core values. I wonder if I should make it themed. And then the diaper video will drop. You need to work for it. Come on now. This boy is Mark is sitting on like 5 drafts. I can't just let him press 1 and send and then diaper video gets released. It should earn it. You know what I mean?
I'm earning it.
Okay. Corey Caza, what would you post about this week?
Let's
And it can't
see.
be something your wife made on Canva. You need to do it.
What? Like a video?
Yeah, anything. If you were to post, if this coming week, do you have something? So Keith Lyons is talking about taking a cape into a colonial,
Yeah.
which is awesome. I love that. Cut off the top
Yeah.
and take it up. Who likes capes anyway? And so that's his exciting thing. Mark did a live auction this week. Mark, do you have anything other exciting coming up this week? Something to make a post about? Something fun?
A couple appointments, but
Were you asking me the question or no?
Yeah, you bored me, and so I moved on. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, I thought you
didn't
were
finish-
waiting for me to say
I didn't finish
something.
with Mark. I didn't finish with Mark.
Um,
I gave him the out to like release
All
a
right,
video
finish
from
him,
last.
and then I got something. So
Right.
move on to me
Okay,
after.
good.
I don't know, got a goodish appointment tomorrow that I could do some video of.
What makes it unique?
It's off market.
No, not unique enough. Okay, I'll come back to you. Think about it more. Stratton, you got your meetup, right?
Yeah, next week. Next week.
Next week. Did you post about it? I saw one thing go out, but I didn't see like a.
I have a video. I just I had an appointment yesterday that I was thinking about posting some content on this Airbnb down in Sevierville, Tennessee, and
Okay.
they're looking to go sub 2. So
Okay.
maybe some
What makes it unique and worthy of being posted?
It's a massive fucking beautiful property on the lake, and it's like 3 years old and has a pool inside the house and sauna, and it's beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I dig it. Anything else you got going on? Interesting and post-worthy this week?
not really. I'm just gonna be doing some agent outreach, but nothing.
Let me ask you the question another way. What are you doing this week to have fun?
What am I doing
Hanging
this
out with
week?
me.
What was that?
Been hanging out with me.
Hanging out with Corey.
That's called traumatizing, traumatic, not fun.
That's true.
Fun for you, not for him.
I'm probably going 4-wheeling.
Cool. Love it. With family?
I'll talk about I'll drop some content on creative finance while I'm going through a fucking big ass mud puddle.
No, just live your life. Whatever you feel inspired to drop content on, do it.
Oh, okay.
Be authentic in what you're doing. But like, I like that you're having fun, and I like that you have some big, juicy, sexy Tennessee thing to spill the beans on. Pool inside the house. Interesting. Greg Tuck, what do you got going on this week that you think would be worthy of posting on the interwebs for all to see?
I don't know. That cat house. I got to deal with the attorney. I'm talking to this lady named Kelly, and then I had to track down the attorney who drafted up the trust documents. He's just waiting on the word from Kelly so he can submit the trust documents to the title company. So maybe after we're set for close, I can go over there and post another stinky video. That'd be fun.
Of the house?
Yeah, I mean, it's cleaned out now. I don't think I posted updated videos of the house that's clean, so maybe I can do it before and after.
I would tell you to post something that you're great at. The fact that you tracked down the attorney to get all this done, I think is impressive. I mean, I look at a bunch of nice houses all day long. I look at a bunch of before and afters all day long, but I genuinely think that you are spectacular at finding people. I would love for you to share the things that you're great at.
Yeah, maybe I'll find somebody who's more interesting that I found before. Because that
No,
one,
I think I think what you're doing is interesting enough.
it's not fun though. You know, I don't want to
I
post
didn't
it.
ask you fun. You don't get to have fun this week. That's for Stratton only. I'm asking
Oh,
you. I think you should record like anytime, next time you're searching for somebody. Let me go look at you real fast. Next time you're searching for somebody, I would love for you to record how you do it and then share it. Like the fact that, or you could, with the attorney that you found, right, to then make the document, why don't you just like pretend you're doing it again and walk people through how you did it?
yeah. I don't know. That's not fun though. Like one of the,
It's fun for me.
one time the fun ones are like one time me and Kinley couldn't get a hold of the people, so I took off my shirt, wrapped it around my head, and then I found some beer cans in the house and I put them around me and I laid down. And Kinley took pictures of me laying down in the house. He was like, "Man, I think somebody broke in your house," and then we got a hold of him. That one's fun. That's a good way to get a.
Listen, okay, your choice. But this week, I would either love to see you reenact how you found the attorney to then go do all the things you did. Option one. Option two is, what do you call that? Reenact. Yeah, reenact your playing dead to get the seller to talk to you, and then send the screenshots of the text on your little reel. Anyway, your homework is make one Instagram worthy post. Whatever you want to do, you got 1 week to do it. I really hope one of you fails because I'm just gonna give you a screen grab of the diaper video and it's bad. And I'm just thinking about like, this better not go well because I'm gonna have to follow through. Oh boy. All right, Keith Lyons, you're doing the Cape conversion. Greg Tuck, you got your two options. Stratton has a Tennessee and the meetup and the four-wheeler. Mark Gullifer, you have the auction in the bank and you're working on it. You're working on your exciting thing for this week.
Yeah, your mic's terrible again, but yes, working on second thing. My second thing is probably gonna be a post looking to like quote unquote hire, but it's gonna be like a fake hire, like a real fake hire.
Like a real fake hire?
Like I'm not really looking for like if somebody wants to do it full time, that's great. But it's like I just want somebody who can pick up some calls and like is like hungry and actually wants it. Not
Is that
necessarily, huh?
is that what you really want? Is that what's the biggest problem you're solving this week?
I don't know if that's this week. This week, I mean, I'm just kind of going through the motions like I've been saying, that's kind of my thing for now. But a way for me, this is a way for me to catapult a little bit ahead of that. If I could bring somebody on that is down to make calls, I'll get a second dialer license and I'll just feed them with lists. Because
What if
I'm just not doing them. I'm not doing the calls. So
what if your weekly call this week, you could just have your people call and just do like a call lab, or I call it a clinic, but like, why don't you just do live calls instead of answering questions, hypothetical questions?
we've called on others in the past. Yeah, I don't get how to best hold, I guess, a virtual office where it like makes sense. Because do I just put the spreadsheet up and they're just gonna pull their cell phones out, or like I've been trying to wrap my head around that a little bit, I guess, but
So you could hot seat it, right? So we used to do this in the past. I don't think if you record it, YouTube won't let you put it up because you can't have people's personal information like that. So I never was in the business of doing that. But what you would do is you would essentially put somebody in the hot seat and force them to make a call, period. And then we used to do this like seller calls, and then people would text things to say or things to ask in the chat. So you can either hot seat them and you provide the leads, or the other thing that I like to do, I call it door knocking pipelines, but you tell them, screen share, let's go look at your CRM right now. What is the lead that is closest to the finish line? What's the next step? Let's do the next step together right here, right now.
yep, we've been doing some of that. Usually the beginning is like just some people getting some questions out of the way, and then towards
Yeah.
the end it kind of gravitates towards usually it's that kid John just like be like, yo, I have all these leads and I don't know how to like what the next step is. Like he doesn't know how to be a lead manager. He has like fantastic notes from the last call. It'll be like, oh, so and so said this, and they're trying to get into a
Why
assisted
aren't you
living,
hiring
and
him?
oh, because he works with my buddy, and I don't want to hire him. He's not cut out for it. Like he's not cut out for it. At the end of the day, he's one of those people where it's like you have so much promise, and I know that you could do this, but you get in your own way and you just don't do the work. So, but yeah, part of that group, the reason for that is that's where I'm trying to find somebody that might be a good fit. Stratton, how did that very brief interjection, how did the call with Destiny go? Good, bad? She's very green.
Yeah, yeah, no, it went good. We have a second interview scheduled with her tomorrow with like
Nice.
three other people on our team. So yeah, she interviewed really well, and I think she might be a good fit. We'll see.
Yeah, she's very green. I think she does have the hustle and the drive, and I think she needs to be around people that understand her because people at the brokerage like don't really get it that she's kind of at.
Yeah,
But she might be a good fit. But again, I know very limited about her.
no, I appreciate you thinking of me. Thank you.
Yeah, no
Is-
worries, no worries.
Is Destiny from Connecticut?
New Hampshire.
No, okay, I don't know her.
I think that's her name. I think that's her name. Yeah.
There's a Destiny from a long, long time ago. All right, Caza's out. Eisenhower,
Yes.
what is your exciting interweb content for this upcoming week?
So I'm thinking of actually that Alton Bay property, the new flip that we just got. That's a sub 2 at 2.5% interest rate. So I'm thinking about, and actually the story behind it is my buddy Matt, who I've been friends with for a long time. He like saw everything I was doing on social media, and he's like, dude, he's like, how can I help? How can I get in? So he made phone calls for like 4 months with nothing. Finally got this deal. Long story short, he got this deal. I closed it, and it's a 2.5% interest, sub 2. So
That's
Beautiful.
awesome.
it's a sweet deal.
Are
So
you-
tomorrow we're going up there, and I'm going to shoot some content on that.
I love it. I also like too, if you have like paperwork that shows, because I know people are always like 2.5%, but if you have a document that shows like, here's the mortgage we're taking over, that stuff is also fun and goes over well on the interwebs.
Definitely.
Okay. All right, Caza is last for his content, and then the diaper video drops. We'll
Which
see.
Corey actually did a CMA for me on it too. So appreciate that, bro.
Nice. Nice. I don't know. I think he's feeding his hamster somewhere. Yeah. All right. So apart from your Instagram content upcoming this week, I guess here he is. The other thing I'm thinking of is what new friendships do you want to form? You know what I mean? Like what power player is in your network that you're like, I want to be friends with this person. I want to make a relationship with this person. I got to think too, because I need some new real estate friends anyway. And even if I meet somebody that's not a good fit for me, I can pimp them out to you if they're more your vibe.
I want to hang out
And I
with people that are like 1 or 2 steps ahead of me. You know what I mean? That are like just doing a little bit more than me that I can kind of just follow along and take it to the next level.
Isn't there somebody that you think of as soon as you think about that, where you're like, I want somebody who's a little bit better than me, somebody like who comes to
Yes,
mind?
but not locally though. That's the only thing. I don't really know anyone locally.
And they have to be local because,
I mean, just to like hang out in person, you know what I mean?
yeah, in-person energy is nice. Where is this person?
I mean, there's a few guys I know. There's one dude in Tennessee, Ohio. This dude Tommy, he's killing it out there. He's like doing, maybe 3 or 4 flips every month regularly. So he's just at that next level where it's, I'm kind of sporadic, maybe do 7 or 8 a year, like good ones. But yeah, he's doing just like a lot more volume.
Why not talk to him anyway? Right? Because going back to, circles of identity, long distance friend, there's still value in that, right? You can't, well, I shouldn't say you can't have the perfect friend, but I wonder if you could ask Tommy and being like, Tommy, do you have somebody who's local to Worcester, Massachusetts? Because I'm down to be friends with local people.
Yeah,
Can you
that's a good
ask?
idea. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so you're gonna ask Tommy, and then who's the other person in Tennessee?
I don't really have a relationship with him. It's just I see him on social
Not
media.
yet, you don't. Not
Yeah.
yet, you don't.
Yeah, I could reach out.
I'm not gonna lie, the way that I make friends on the internet, and I don't even know if this is real, is I have a very bad first impression. I'm kind of mean and I just heckle them initially, and then I send them a nice message in a DM. That's my style. But I'm very memorable. You do you. You find your way. Maybe practice on some other lower tier people, and then if you fuck it up, obviously come up with a better strategy. But and also the in-person connection. So I think that's also fun.
We're losing you.
Microphone.
If you go to Instagram,
Oh my God.
That's better.
where is my microphone? Isn't it here at the top?
No, that's your
right there.
camera.
No, but I'm pretty sure there's a microphone here. Is it better? It's not
Stop
better.
moving.
All right, Corey Caza,
Yes, can you hear me?
what are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing this week?
What?
What are you?
Talking to your keyboard.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Right there.
Hey, I
That's
think it's
good.
working. Yeah, do that. Keep doing
There's
that.
usually a hole somewhere, but I don't. Wait a minute.
That's
I can
working.
never find the hole, so I mean, it's like.
That's what you said.
mm,
Okay. Oh. What are you doing exciting this week?
Nope.
Am I doing exciting this week?
Yeah.
I have an appointment. Well, Amy has an appointment because I'll be doing army things. But we got a pretty good number of properties we're looking to list or either sell off market. Depends. Anyway, yeah, so tomorrow we're looking at 5 condos to sell, and then a place in Manchester, and then a place in oh shit, what was the other one? Anyway, there's like 8 properties total that they're going to list, and the other ones they're not sure what they're going to do with yet. But so that's exciting.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you say something?
Yes.
What'd you
All
say?
right.
Good. You get one of those little mini mics.
Is
Is this better?
No,
Double.
No.
No.
that's
Now there's
double
2.
bad.
I'm not gonna look at Caza.
Yeah,
Stratton, is this better? I trust you.
Mute one of those mics.
Yeah, one.
I
of them.
did mute
mute
one of them. You did the wrong one.
Oh, that's creepy.
Can it? I can't do this math right now because I'm talking into this and I'm looking here and I'm just.
Sounds like you're up in the space station.
All right, hang on.
Oh, where'd you go?
Got something good.
So this is exciting for me, not for a lot of people. But
Okay.
it's exciting for me is, as you know, I do the government job too, as a government contract specialist. And today my boss was like, actually my boss's boss, they like sat me down in the office. I thought I was in like big fucking trouble the way they were talking, but they're like, hey, yeah. So because like bottom line, the whole freaking federal budget cut shit that's going on and Doge, whatever, everybody who is a dual status, it's called Title 32 dual status technician across the US at 30 April, they're all done. Everybody. Like, so, I mean, I still have the real estate, obviously, but I'll have no job. And I was like, that's kind of awesome, actually, because now it's going to really force me just to fucking, if there's a time to do it 100 miles an hour, it's now. It's now.
Yep. Forces you.
Yeah.
Your theme has been burning the boats. You've been talking about this for some time now.
Burn the ships.
Burn the ship. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
me and Jonathan were talking earlier, and it's like, all right, dude, fucking it's go time.
All right, let's go back to these. You said something about off-market properties that you guys are listing.
Well, some of them they decided not to list, but a handful of them are going to list. And then there's a couple other properties I was talking to Jonathan about that we're going to see if we could potentially do something creative with them or whatever.
So what's the current plan for you? What's going on in your head? What are you thinking?
So right now they do have properties they do want to list, which is a bunch of condos. It's all the same owner. He has a whole bunch of properties everywhere. So what we're doing right now is we're gonna go list those. He has some properties. He has a 20-unit building in Ashland. That unfortunately they don't want to sell, but I think they might if we can sweet talk them. But anyway, they have units there that need to be rented. So we're gonna get those rented for them. Even though like I'm not a rental agent, but I mean, they're giving me a whole bunch of properties to list, so I'll figure it out. Other than that, now that I'm not going to have a job in 2 weeks, which is kind of pretty sweet, is Jonathan and I have been chatting for the past, few months, kind of off and on. But now we're really getting serious about partnering with him and implementing our business model into his business model, and him training Amy and I on their systems and their CRM.
Yes.
And really getting on board with his processes and how he does things. And I think it's going to be fucking awesome.
That was a 2-week turnaround, Stratton. We literally talked about they have been courting your ass forever. And you've just been this hot girl who's running away from him, and they're like, what do we gotta do to get this fucking guy in the bag? And then lo and behold, I guess you gotta go kiss some Trump ass now. Like look at what it took for him to get here. My goodness. You have been the hot girl that's been rejecting them since forever.
Me?
Yes. And look at you. You're so excited to do this. And finally, because he's been saying this whole thing the whole damn time. Same thing.
Yeah, I had to kind of find it was a balance. It was an awkward balance. Because I'm the risk taker. I like to do things and see what happens. Amy has absolutely zero appetite for risk.
Yeah.
If it's not a sure thing, she don't want nothing to do with it. So it's like, yeah, we make enough to be fine in real estate, but then like I'm also losing like 90 grand a year not having that job too. So it's like I got to make that up. But was I also stuck not being able to do real estate full time? Could I have made 2 or 3 times that? Yeah, probably, maybe, but I don't know. Now I'm gonna fucking find out.
So I had this idea when you were talking just now,
Mhm.
because we're talking about burning the ships. I don't think you can do it though. I think there's a rule. You can't burn your BDU, right?
What?
Isn't that what
Oh.
it's called?
No, ACUs, no OCPs now, but no, I'm not out of the military. I'm out of the government job.
Does not compute. What are we saying?
What are you saying? You're saying you can't burn your BDUs. What you meant to say was OCP. So what is the meaning behind that? I don't know what you're saying.
I thought, so you don't have a government job, but you're still in the military?
Yes. So I do on the military side in the Guard, I do government contracting. Just so happens I also did it for the DOD at the same location that I drill. So that's what gets confusing with people is like what I did on the outside of the military, I actually do in the military as well.
So were you working more than
So
40 hours a
they're
week?
separate. They're
Yeah, I get
fucking
that.
100 hours a week. Are you kidding me? I do this and fucking that.
I got a headache, man. That's a lot of work. So
When
can
I
you
tell
burn
people
your,
when I tell people I don't do
Mhm.
real estate full time, they're blown away. They're like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I just fucking don't sleep." But
Sleep is important.
it is.
I got some pills I can send you in the mail if you want them.
Fucking sketchy.
I started
Sweet.
taking melatonin pills. Those were terrible. But
Are
these
those
other
different
ones,
colors
we
with
said,
stamps
like,
on them? I'll take those.
She
I
said
said,
with Viagra.
no,
Speak, I just took a couple. I gotta get out of here soon.
Can you imagine? You're like, I don't like these side effects, man. Something's wrong.
No, it's funny is
Now Amy can't sleep.
yeah, I'm pretty open about this. Jonathan called me earlier and I was like literally like mid stabbing myself because I do TRT, testosterone
Oh,
replacement
yes,
therapy.
yes. Yeah.
And that shit's a fucking game changer. And talking
Is
about
it?
Viagra, it's like I'm a walking boner. It's fucking crazy.
What else can you do on that? Should I be taking some?
No, 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 no.
No, but what else do you get? Like what else? Besides a walking motor that I can't benefit
Yeah,
from.
yeah. So being getting a lot of energy, much happier, not as tired as I used to be. You get stronger. I mean, if you work out, obviously,
Yeah.
like the gains in the gym have just been fucking crazy. It's
Like
not
putting on
it's not
weight?
steroids. It's what?
Are you putting on weight?
Well, not like fat weight, but muscle. Yeah,
Yeah. So are you putting on muscle weight? That's hard to do. I know that.
yeah, yeah.
How much?
I don't know. I mean, I don't weigh myself very often.
But like you've been
But I
taking
mean,
it
I'm
6
bigger.
months or like how long you've been taking it?
About 8 to 9 months.
I almost feel like, and I don't know men stuff because I'm not a
Mhm.
man, for those that are confused.
Yeah.
Is this like menopause? You know what I mean? Like, because you're getting older, right? It's just something you do when you get older. Like women have menopause and men have this that
Well,
they do.
I was always tired. I freaking like no sex drive and like super tired and like why do I feel like this all the fucking time? And I was like, maybe I'm just working too much. Maybe I'm too stressed out or whatever. And then like I was just doing research and I was like, I discovered like, oh, must like your testosterone could be low. And I'm like, well, that's kind of embarrassing, but okay, let's pursue that, see what that's about. So I went and did the like the blood work because I contacted a place in Manchester. I did the blood work. They're like, yeah, your T's like super low. And I was like, yeah, that explains it. And then it was 164. Like the range is supposed to be like 350 to like 900 or something like that. And I was 164. And after 3 months of it, I went back. No, 6 months. After 6 months of it, I went back and did another more blood work, and I was at 1400.
God damn.
And I was like, that makes sense.
That's like 8x.
Poor Amy.
Is Amy happy?
Not disappointed.
She's tired.
She's tired.
She's sleeping.
You know what? I'm
Huh?
going to say this one other thing. Stratton, okay, when I met him to where this man is at today, working with Stratton, people just become very fertile and babies are made. So I'm just saying, be careful.
This
I
dude
don't know
walks by Jordan. She gets pregnant.
well, listen, not just him, his employees were also conceiving after 10 years of nothing. I'm going to
Really?
hang out with you when it's time, but be careful. Or not be careful. Have a baby and give it to me because I don't want to give birth. I would just really like to have a kid. So anyway, we're problem solvers here. Cool. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So I thought you got another dog. Is that new? I don't remember that cat.
Yeah, this is Rosalie's cat,
Cute. What's the name?
Teddy.
Teddy?
Yeah, he's a menace.
All right. So your exciting thing is April 30th. Changes are going to be made where you're still with the military. You're not doing government contracts outside of the military. Your work is going from 100 hours down to 60 hours.
I mean, not literally 100 hours. I felt like that's what I was working, but it was a lot more
Yeah.
than 40. So
Yeah. Okay. So you're now to a normal 9-to-5 job. You're going to go all in on real estate, which means joining forces with Stratton, who's been courting you forever. So finally, if you make an Instagram post or some sort of online post this week, what would it be about?
well, actually, this is actually agent related. Is it's actually kind of concerning. I've seen an uptick in it. Is a lot of land scams. I'm getting a lot of, what was that?
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
Land scans?
Oh, people trying to sell other people's land.
Oh, land.
Like vacant land. So if you have vacant land, these scammers are just going online, looking at public records, taking their info, saying they're that person, then contacting realtors from like realtor.com or Zillow, whatever, and saying, hey, I'm this person. I'm looking to sell this land and I need to sell it fast. I've gotten like six of those, and Amy's gotten a couple too in like the last 2 months. I made a video, I just haven't posted it yet, but
I was gonna say, I feel like I've seen you talk about this.
maybe I did already. I don't know, but yeah, I was gonna do something about that because like that's not everybody, you know, not every agent is smart enough or have the knowledge to know that that's a scam. But I noticed it right away. And there's there's a few different like red flags that you can identify that say like, yeah, this is most likely a scam. So I was going to put something like that out just for like newer agents and other, you know, just people who own land, like, hey, this is what's going on, this is what's happening. So I'll just be
I like
aware.
it.
Yeah.
So you have two options. Do your land scam 101
Yeah.
thing, right?
Mhm.
And or make the announcement about 4:30 that something's changing. I don't know. Up to you. Whatever you want.
I was thinking about that earlier when you guys were talking earlier, and that's because I was like, I'm holding this beer, burn the ships, and I'm like, I'm really gonna have to do that, you know, in
Yeah,
2
but
weeks. So probably
burn.
make like a video about transitioning, be like, all right, check it out. Because of the budget cuts and the whatever, Trump this and
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Now I'm forced to do something I've always been wanting to do. So like this is the time now. Like I either do it or I'm gonna drown, you know, sink or
Good.
swim. So something like
I
that
dig it.
probably. Yeah.
Burn the BDUs.
Can't do that. BDUs
Oh,
are like from the 90s.
I know. That's how I know them. That's what my dad had.
Oh, he was
OCP.
Navy?
No, he was military, 22 and a half years, lieutenant
No, which branch? Army
colonel,
or
Army. And then he
Army?
did another 20 years for the Navy.
She was 40 years in the military. Holy shit.
Chug, chug, chug.
You got 2
All right.
pensions?
Yes.
Wow. Good
Yeah,
job.
I know. Anyway, one other thing I'm going to tell you is I gave this to Stratton as homework, but now that you're involved and you're doing like agent things, I
Mhm.
put him in contact with Jeremy Davis out of Utah. Jeremy Davis
Yeah.
created a continuing education course that was baptized by NAR. And I told him I would love to see you guys legitimize something out there in New Hampshire, right?
Oh, yeah, you
Stratton,
talked about this a couple weeks ago.
yes. So whatever you need, Jeremy was sick 1 week and I don't think they synced up, but if you get together in bed with Stratton, put it on your back burner that I would love to see that as my dying wish, as this old lady that has a grandma diaper ass. I would love to see that as my diaper wish. So in the event that you have some extra time, please work towards that goal because I would love to see that be a thing. And I'm happy to put shit behind you guys for that.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah. I know people, you know people, let's get her done. Okay. It's my dream. It's not your dream. I get it. So I'll give you grace to whatever. But if you move in that direction, you call me and I'll be right behind you. That's what she said. Good night. It's 10:03. Any other last words? But you guys have your mission for this week, right? And maybe I'll give you a screenshot of the diaper just so you know, like, oh shit, this is about to go down.
That's interesting.
All of you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of you. Okay. If you do it, I will release the diaper video. Okay. It's bad. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. It's a call to accountability, guys. All right.
Mhm.
Anyway, happy Tuesday. If you guys need anything, give a shout. We have deals in the Creative Elite group. Last week I had talked about things I wanted to do, which was create resources for us. I will do that. It's going to be like people that are suggested. So like I had in Sub 2 New England, anytime somebody recommended something, I would keep a short list of it. Lenders, attorneys, whatever you need, contractors, la. And then I'm also going to have I have a Google folder for everything, but I have lenders that want to have, they have resources, you know, spreadsheets and whatever, I can drop that in. So I will go ahead and make sure we get that. Oh, and last thing is Saturday, we're going for a hike. So the hike that we were going to go on at some point in time that we couldn't make it because the weather was crap. This Saturday, we are going. So Gregg, in the event that you want to take a flight, just let you know, Mount Cardigan. Weather's going to
Saturday's
be great.
looking good.
I know.
Like 70.
I know. So much better than what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Questions, comments, concerns? Everybody with your marching orders.
Mm-hmm.
The prize is diaper. Disgusting. All right. Good night, everybody.
Night.